Oh my god, hi! You look so good today. You know what I mean? So, today we're going to be doing something that I definitely didn't invent, but that I do want to do because it's fun. Now, full disclosure, I wanted to do a different video today. My original plan was to do basically like every category of makeup, my personal favorites. So like my favorite foundation, my favorite blush, my favorite bronzer, etc. And that's going to probably be coming next Friday. But this Friday, that was the original plan. But then I decided to check Trend Mood and I saw something that made me angry. So I'm gonna do this. I did not invent this. So many creators in the beauty space are doing this. I'm going to be roasting makeup releases, but if I like it, I'm going to toast it. So full disclosure, normally I wear glasses. I'm actually quite blind, but I don't wear them when I'm filming because I have a ring light, and I think that if I was wearing glasses, you wouldn't see my eyes. You would just see, like, you know in anime when the character's wearing like glasses and it's just like a shing, like right across. You know that guy from The Haunting of Bly Manor, the guy who keeps on scaring Danny, and you'd just see that, and then you'd all be scared, and then I'd have to explain that to everyone. We're trying to avoid that, so we're not doing that. So I will periodically probably be like, because I can't see. Up first, we have a palette by Nomad Cosmetics. It is the Land of Ice and Fire collection, and it is inspired by Iceland. And I know this is called roasting an eyeshadow, or like roasting new makeup, but I actually really like this. It's got a lot of blue, but what I appreciate about it is that it's not too much of the same kind of blue. There's a really nice deep, almost like sapphire blue. There's a couple more icy blues, and some are definitely verging on green, which I really appreciate. Mind you, I will say a couple of the colors are just a little too similar for me. On the left side, there's those two like light blues, and then above them are another set of like light blues, and those are just a little too similar for me. But overall, I could totally see myself getting so much use out of this palette. I also really love that row of red. I think that it's like very contrasting, which I really appreciate. And on top of that, it's also just really interesting and not something I have a lot of in my collection because I don't really have a lot of blues. So I'm actually really into this. Okay, up next is an absolute roast. So this is a new product by Yves Saint Laurent, and it is the Rouge sur Mesure. And I have to just say this. This is the product that made me go, okay, never mind, I'm doing this. Because I hate this product. Like, you put in these weird capsules of lipstick, and the machine melts the product, and so you have a whole, like, custom color thing. And I guess it comes with, like, an app so that you can either, like, customize your own color, or I guess you can, like, analyze a photo and get that exact color, or at least as close to the color as it can get. And it looks like the top is detachable and you can take it with you as like a little compact. Now, I don't know if you know this, but did you know that if you want a custom colored lipstick, you can literally go to your makeup collection, grab a bunch of lipsticks, and melt them down together to create a new lipstick. It's called Franken Makeup, and it is very fun. I've done this myself. If I was looking at a photo of, like, I don't know, who's, like, a celebrity that I care about. Name a celebrity. Nope, I can't. If I was looking at a picture of, like, I don't know, Haley Steinfeld, and she had a lip color that I really liked, I bet it would be nice to have an app that I could, like, pinpoint that exact color and have it create something for me. But here's the thing. This is a lie. They say you can create thousands of lip colors, and I'm sure you can, but there's apparently, I looked on the website, and all I could find, I don't know if this is accurate, but knowing Yves Saint Laurent, I wouldn't be surprised. The shade ranges, there are reds, nudes, purples, and pinks, and that's about it. So you can create a lot of colors, but you can't create all of them. And on top of that, did you know that this product is $299? US, so not even, like, if I was buying this in Canada, it would be close to $400. Did you know that? Did you know that in order to buy this, no offense, Yves Saint Laurent butt plug, you have to pay almost $300 for something that you can do in your own home? Mind you, making your own Franken Makeup at home and melting down the lipstick, you're probably not going to be able to just create an app for that, but you know you can use your eyes. And half the fun of Franken Makeuping and like creating your own makeup is just like seeing the color that comes about. Mind you, it is convenient for you to be able to take this custom color that the Yves Saint Laurent butt plug creates for you and take it with you in your purse. You know what else you can do? If you're someone who loves a good custom lip color and you don't really want to like mess up your lipsticks, did you know that there are brands that sell makeup like palettes that are just pans of lipstick that you can use to create custom lip colors? And if you really want to take it with you, because I totally get that carrying an entire lipstick palette is like inconvenient, you can just like buy a little container. There's tons of them. You can buy them on Amazon. You can buy them at the dollar store and just store your custom color in that for your day at the fair or like wherever you're going. And then you don't have to spend like $300 at Yves Saint Laurent on this. I mean, it's a cool idea, and I'm sure it's going to be great for some people, but I am not one of them, and this is absolutely not for me. So up next is a new Morphe collection, and it's an eyeshadow palette, I think a couple of lip products, let's see, mini lip glosses, and a brush set, and it's the Sweet Oasis collection. Now, in true Morphe fashion, it is a exceedingly huge palette. I think it's a 35. Yep. It's 35 eyeshadows. Now, I will admit, I don't hate the color story on the last two columns. I think that those are actually really nice colors. They're very blue. They're very, interesting, I guess. They're nice. I like them. The most interesting part about that palette is those two last rows. And I do see a couple of, like, colors that are very similar. The rest of the palette is, I don't want to say it's boring. Yeah, no, I'm not into this. I don't know why Morphe's afraid of not making eyeshadow palettes, and I know I'm clearly not the first person to critique them on this, but this is why I never buy any large palettes from Morphe. They just have, like, I don't need gigantic makeup palettes anymore. I guess if you're starting out, this would be nice, but at a certain point, the eyeshadow palettes are so huge that, like, do you need 35 eyeshadows? Probably not. You know what? Morphe are cowards because they should have just released that N2 columns and I would have purchased it. Yeah, no, this is definitely a pass for me personally. Up next is a new Violet Voss mini palette, and this is the Wildflower. Now, I am sure that it's probably good quality. I have been very tempted to buy a few Violet Voss palettes. I saw one recently and it's like 80s themed with like that good like font. I want it so bad just from the nostalgia of it. I haven't purchased it because I can't do that to myself. I don't need it, and honestly, but I want it so bad. But this palette here, I'm sure it would be good quality, but 'tis a blushed nude palette, and God bless, you know, I don't really have that much to say about this. It's warm neutrals, and it's kind of pinky neutrals, which, sure, I mean, I'm sure that it's a nice quality, but it's been done to death. This, honestly, I don't need it. So up next, we have a ColourPop release. Oh my god. Did I have another one that I was going to do? Is this the first? What's happening? Am I okay? So this is a new ColourPop release. Shocking, I know. And this is, it looks like two 9-pan palettes, and they're celebrating the Lunar New Year. Now, I know that brands will usually rotate around maybe a time of year, a holiday. It's usually Christmas. It's like never Halloween. But it's interesting that brands are now marketing off of the Lunar New Year because this is just my personal opinion. It never feels like they're really putting that much thought into it. I've seen a few. The only one that I've ever saw that I was like, is that Clinique one with a cow. I don't even want it for the, like, highlighter. I just want that cow. It's so cute. So cute. I really want it. But this palette here, so it looks like it's a 9-pan of removable pans. And I kind of love when brands do those removable pan situations because it makes it really easy if you love maybe 3 or 4 eyeshadows from the collection, so that, like, if you love that, you can just remove it and put it in maybe your Z palette, if you even own a Z palette, or wherever people are storing their, like, individual eyeshadows now. It's convenient, and I like it. I will say, though, I Looking at it, I didn't really have much of an opinion on it. It looks like some of them are cool, some of them are warm. There's a random red and an orangey terracotta color. I didn't necessarily think about this initially, but going through the comments, a lot of people are saying that it's basically just the Mulan collection, but again, and I totally agree. It just feels like some white lady went, it's exotic because it's Chinese and China neutral and red, you know? And so this is just really boring and just doesn't feel great to me. I don't love it. I'm not doing it. Okay, up next we have a couple of Lime Crime 9 pans. There is the Aura Eye and Face Palette, and it's an eye and face palette, so I'm guessing, you know, you can use that deep purple anywhere you want on your face. One is called Aura, and the other one is called Glory. I'll be honest, these look nothing like Lime Crime palettes to me. Very different from their usual stuff. I'm not sure if they're trying to be like hip, if they're trying to change around their packaging or their image, because you know, Lime Crime has a pretty torrid history of not being great. And I guess the people at Lime Crime just want to, I don't know, rebrand. Not sure. I'm not loving it. It doesn't look cheap necessarily, but it looks like something you would get from like BH Cosmetics for a lot less money than it is. They're $30. No. I don't hate the color choices. The top one, I think that one is what, Aura? No, Glory. So I think like Glory looks really nice. It's sort of a Barbie pink, very like 90s Barbie Dreamhouse aesthetic colors. And I do really like that. And then the second one is what Aura is mainly, it's like some blues and some purple for no reason. It seems kind of confused, and I don't see myself really reaching for that at all. It's like either pick blue or purple. Like a 9 pan, you really have to come up with a good color story that like everything is going to work in tandem. And yes, yellow and pink don't necessarily super go together, but they do kind of make each other pop because they are kind of complementary colors, at least a little. So I think that really works. The problem I have with the other one is, like, it's not that it doesn't work. It has some nice colors. I really like the dark colors. There's sort of like a dark blackish blue and almost like a gray blue. I like those. And I even like that blue, like the deep blue color. But the rest of them, I'm like, there's like that gray shade. I don't know. And then like the random pink. I think that if they would have gone, like blue and green, this would have really done it for me. But I think what really turns me off really just is the packaging. I'm really not into 9 pans that have just like really wide, like edge to edge pans. I don't know why. I just don't think it's very aesthetically pleasing. It's Lime Crime. Y'all could have put maybe a little bit more effort into this. It just looks a little bit not as great as I want it to be. Up next, we have a bunch of 5-pan eyeshadow palettes from ColourPop. We blank, and there she is again. So this is the Lovestruck 5-pan eyeshadow collection from ColourPop. And there's 5 different eyeshadow palettes, each with 5 different eyeshadows in them. I feel torn about this. I will say I do love a well thought out 5-pan to 9-pan eyeshadow palette. Like a good eyeshadow palette doesn't need 30 to 50 eyeshadows. You can really create a go-to amazing palette with like 4 to 5 shades. And I will say all of these look nice and concise. I actually think they're great. I mean, they're not a super creative color choices. They're all kind of, you know, you've got your sort of taupey browns, you've got sort of warm browns, you've got your blushed browns, and then below that is like sort of a like a berry nude, and then you have sort of a slate gray with, you know, it all kind of works. Each one kind of definitely serves a different look, and I don't actually dislike ColourPop's formula. I actually think it's pretty good, but at the same time, I'm very torn about this. There's a couple that I think are really nice. I like Amore a lot. I also really like Ballad. And I kind of like Lyric. Like those, I also kind of like that all their names. No, I think that these are nice. I think that they're fine. I don't know that I would be purchasing them, but I don't dislike them. Although I will say a couple of these, they look like they have, like a couple of the pans look like they have sort of a pressed chunky glitter. And there are so few brands that can do this well, and in my mind, ColourPop is not one of them. So really, on at least a few of these palettes, I don't think I would get nearly enough use to warrant purchasing it. They're $10 each though, so like you really can't go that wrong. I feel kind of indifferent about these, if I'm being completely honest. Someone at Tarte sneezed, and in response, instead of saying bless you, they said, hey sis, do you want a blush neutral palette? This is the Juicy Amazon Clay palette, and it's like one of their Tartelette palettes. First of all, never name an eyeshadow palette juicy. I just hate that word. It's ugh. But also, this is exactly what I'm talking about when I say what a blushed neutral palette is and why I hate them. This is literally nothing new. I'm pretty sure Tarte has come out with a palette just like this at least a couple of times. Also, I'm not wild about Tarte's formula. I don't hate it, but it's not exciting enough for me that I would need to buy another blush neutral palette. I think that there's a couple brands where if they came out with a blush neutrals, I would still purchase it because I really enjoy their like formula, and for a really incredible formula, I could totally see myself buying it, but it's just boring. None of this looks interesting. It's all the same thing you've seen before. It's neutrals with a slightly pink shift. Really boring. And honestly, like at this point, Tarte is just not here to play. They're a filler queen, you know? Girl, come on. It's 2021. Blush palettes have been around for so long, and I still see so many brands doing it, because I guess I know people are going to buy it, but still, come on. So P. Louise is back again, and this is the lip base. I guess it's like a new lipstick formula. They say that it's formulated with benefits of vitamin E, shea butter, and I can never know how to say this, hyaluronic acid, and it's supposed to be like vivid, dries down in 60 seconds, so it's basically just a liquid lipstick. I love when brands are like, hey girl, we come out with this revolutionary new formula, and it's just like a liquid lipstick, but they're like, but we put vitamin E in it, and it's like, we know, sis, we know. Looking at the shade range, it's a pretty like, there's a sort of a blushed situation here happening too. It's a lot of sort of neutral, natural lip colors. There's one that's like... They have one called Relentless Rouge, which looks like a deep brown, which is ironic to me that P. Louise suddenly cares about people with deeper complexions. I will not be purchasing this, nor will I ever really be purchasing from P. Louise. I never have, and now I never will. I'm surprised they're not just expanding the whole I'm Sad collection, where P. Louise was like, it's hard being racist, and like, I'm being canceled for it. That's bullying. Like, girl, come on. What's next? So this is the Rare Beauty Stay Vulnerable collection, and it's got some melting cream blush, and it's like a liquid cream that basically dries down, I guess. And then there's a lip gloss, which, I don't know. Okay, so fun story really quickly, and then we'll get right back into this. Up until about a month ago, I was not someone who likes lip gloss. I still don't love lip gloss in my daily life, but I will say, ever since I started filming, I do love to put on lip gloss when I'm filming. It just, like, gives my lips a nice, like, shift. A nice, like, light, you know? So I am feeling that, and I've been purchasing a lot more lip gloss lately. I love that Rare Beauty is pretty affordable. Like, the lip glosses are, what, $15 or $10? Like, everything is relatively inexpensive, and I really appreciate that. I also really like what Selena Gomez is going for with the line. Very modern, very hip, very easygoing products that really a beginner or an expert could get into and really like. I think that the packaging is really cute too. I love sort of a dusty baby pink with like gold, and the colors are nice. Like, I think that they would work for a lot of different people. There's a pretty nice deep red, and there's also another, like a couple like really light pinks. I like this. I think it's really cute. Honestly, like, I don't think that you necessarily, this might come off as ironic considering I just roasted Tarte for this. I don't think that you necessarily need to reinvent the wheel. You just need to be like pushing your own boundaries a little bit, and really staying on brand. I guess I could say that Tarte stays on brand by being boring. Oh, and then there's liquid eyeshadows too. Love that. Yeah, so there's liquid eyeshadows too, which are $20, so a little bit higher up, but I love a good liquid eyeshadow. I don't use them too often, but they're super convenient, and I like that this collection really sticks to those blushed tones. It's different than blush neutrals. It's not like a desaturated pink. I really like it. I love it when a collection, if it's like blushes and eyeshadows kind of work together like that, and I could totally see myself using these. Up next, we have a BH Cosmetics palette duo. So we have one, it is the Travel series. We have Lost in Los Angeles eyeshadow palette. And then we have the Après in Aspen, which I think is how you say that, face palette. I will say this, that face palette does literally nothing for me. I might consider using maybe the lightest pink and the lightest white, but I don't know anyone who wants on their face, unless you're doing like, I don't know, really creatively artistic stuff on your face all the time. I don't know anyone who wants like an icy blue highlight. I don't know. Maybe this would work for people of a deeper skin tone. Most of it would not work for me. So it is kind of like, I don't want that. No. The eyeshadow palette, I mean, it's a BH Cosmetics eyeshadow palette. Their formula is really hit or miss. I find sometimes it's pretty good, but most of the time I don't like it. It looks pretty shimmery, so I have not had a great experience with a lot of their shimmers personally. But the eyeshadow palette, like, colors, they're nice. I don't know what about that color choice really says Los Angeles to me. But, like, it's fine. But it really does feel kind of like they just chose random colors and, like, threw them all over. I'm not seeing much of a, like, cohesion or, like, cohesiveness, I guess. So it's gonna be a boot for me. Like, I'm really not into it. Okay, this one I love. This one I'm obsessed with. This is the Max Sims collection, and like, girl, you couldn't even try it even slightly? Some executive sat in a room and said, oh, we have to do a collaboration with Sims. Just throw any boring, ashy blush neutrals into a 9-pan and sell that. What about this? What about this says Sims? Anything to anyone? I'm literally on the verge of tears. I'm so... Someone literally sat in a room and was like, let's just throw 9 real dusty eyeshadows into a pan and sell that. You could have done anything for The Sims. The Sims is such a vibrant series. It's such a good game. I love The Sims. There are such vibrant colors. I mean, except for skin tone. But although I will say, it is really fun. And you know what? On brand for The Sims, that about a little while ago, maybe a couple months ago, there was a pretty big, like, issue where The Sims didn't have great skin tone, and I guess that they recently fixed it. And I must say that this is really on brand for The Sims, because looking at this eyeshadow palette, I don't know who much different, like, much darker than me would be able to use this. The deepest shade, which is, like, the only really deep shade, is it is an ashy brown, and it's not even that deep. Like, come on. If you want to do a neutral palette, just do a boring neutral palette. You don't need to put The Sims on it. But looking at The Sims, and even look at the outside of that, it is this gorgeous blue, and then you're gonna open it and have a random blush neutral palette? Come on, girl. This is the, third or fourth blush neutral palette I've seen today, and then y'all want to be like, oh, well, I don't know why you get so annoyed at blush neutral palettes. This is why. All right, let's bring it on home with the last product. So this is a BH Cosmetic eyeshadow palette, and this is the Garnet. It's like for January. It's a new birthstone collection. Listen, I actually don't dislike the concept of doing birthstone collections. I think, like I said in a recent video, I think it's very played out to do like zodiac signs or whatever. So honestly, I don't think it's the worst concept to use birthstones instead, because you already have sort of a really vibrant specific color to work off of, which is kind of smart. You know, if Garnet is, I guess, January's stone, you already kind of have those reds to work off of, so you can kind of like create anything you want, you know, as just keeping in mind that red color. Create a 6 to 8 pan palette that has like colors that work with that vibrant red. So easy. But this, sis, Ms. Ma'am, it's not the worst. There's a red, and then there's like a deeper red, which those are the only two that I'm really into in this palette. First of all, why a black? Why a sparkling black? if you're gonna do neutral, just do neutral with like a couple red, but like, you could do so much. I don't know. And then there's like a random strip. I don't know if that's supposed to be a blush. Is it a blush? Let's find out. Now, Trend Mood does not say whether or not this giant like strip of color is meant to be a blush or not, but I will say BH Cosmetics, from what I have seen and what I have used, does tend to do this thing where they'll have a normal eyeshadow palette with like normal pans, and then one random color will be like 3 times the length. They did it with the original Take Me to Brazil palette, which I do own. It's ridiculous. Like, no one needs that much garnet color, you know? It would be fine if it was just one pan, and then you could do another color, and that would maybe tie it together. But the packaging is just, I'm not into it. It's a little cheap looking. I know it's BH Cosmetics, but if it's a birthstone, you could do something so cool. You could do like in the shape of a gemstone. I don't know, you could just do so much more with this, and it feels unbalanced, and just, I don't like this at all. It's not for me, and I'm giving it a boot. So, no. I love being a problem and complaining, honestly. I should have done this a long time ago. It is fun roasting makeup. Now, keep in mind that all of these products, they are just my personal preference. I know a lot of people have different makeup concepts and ideas that they like, and then there's ones that I like and ones that I don't like. I don't think anyone is a problem, or anyone. I'm not going to judge anyone if they really like things that I dislike. I actually love hearing differing opinions. I really hope you enjoyed this. I really enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. I guess next week will be a favorites video. I don't know. I just decide kind of on the fly. If you enjoyed watching this, please consider subscribing. I do new videos every Friday, and right now I'm doing videos on Sunday as well, because I am recapping every episode of Drag Race while doing some kind of like creative, interesting makeup look. That's gonna do it for me today. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you soon. Bye!